This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Thanks for joining us on the news at 7 tonight. We're sharing the latest on the coronavirus pandemic across the country and how it's impacting families, jobs, and businesses here in central Indiana.
Today, the state health commissioner said she is cautiously optimistic that coronavirus cases are reaching a plateau. According to the Department of Health's latest numbers, there have been 436 reported COVID-19 deaths in the state. Close to 9,000 people have tested positive and more than 48,000 people have been tested. 89% of Indiana's deadly coronavirus cases have involved patients 60 or older.
And according to data from Johns Hopkins University, there are more than 2 million confirmed cases of coronavirus around the world. More than 133,000 people have died, including almost 28,000 in the United States.
A consequence of the coronavirus pandemic that you might not realize the state is preparing for, the Department of Child Services is looking for ways to protect children if their parents get sick.
RTV6's Kara Kenny shows you how they're getting ready and what you can do to protect your own family.
The Indiana Department of Child Services is preparing for a surge in COVID-19 toward the end of April and into May. When parents get sick, their children have to have somewhere to go, and DCS wants to be prepared for that. Dave Hancock and his wife have 2 boys.
One celebrates his 4th birthday next week, and the other turned 2 in October.
They've been Indiana foster parents for 6 years. The Hancocks are just one of thousands of foster families contacted by the Department of Child Services to find out if they could take a child who's been in contact with COVID-19 or who is COVID-19 positive.
I think it's Indiana preparing for a possible surge, and it's also Indiana preparing for the inevitable that comes with this sort of situation.
Dave had to say no because his wife has asthma and one of their foster sons has a heart condition.
It was hard to say no that we couldn't accept a child with that when we strive to have an open and loving home, but you can't take care of other people if you can't take care of yourselves.
Private agencies and nonprofits like The Villages are also working to find families willing to help children displaced by COVID-19.
We're trying to be really, really proactive.
The Villages is also doing training and informational sessions via Zoom for people interested in fostering.
We're trying to use this time to build the capacity that we feel both the Villages and Indiana is going to need to protect our children, to keep them safe, and most importantly, to keep them loved and nurtured during this time that's so stressful.
DCS released a statement to RTV6 to ensure the safety of Hoosier children. DCS needs to understand the capability of their foster parent community to house children who potentially have been exposed to the virus. We want to have meaningful conversations with foster parents about their own risk factors and give everyone the opportunity to discuss as a family what is best for them. DCS says the best response is to have a family safety plan in place. Have someone in your support network ready to go in case you get sick, and also someone who can help you care for your children. Kara Kenny, RTV6.
And if you're interested in becoming a foster parent or you need more tips on creating a safety plan for your family, go to this story on the RTV6 app and at theindychannel.com.
Like, literally, it gives me goosebumps thinking about it. Like, you don't run into people, especially business owners, that genuinely care about their employees.
A popular downtown restaurant is coming through for its employees after losing business during this pandemic. The owners of Downtown Ollie's applied for and received a loan through the federal Paycheck Protection Program. Now they'll be able to pay their employees for the next several weeks. RTV6's Cornelius Hawker learned more about the program and how thankful those workers are.
You guys definitely have a forever employee.
That's how Bonnie Matula, a bartender, feels after the owners of Downtown Ollie's did this for her and her coworkers.
They just went out and got a business phone to make sure all of us are still able to live, because a lot of our unemployments haven't went through.
Bonnie posted this to Facebook, giving the owners major props for everything they've done for their employees during this pandemic. David and Peggy Brandon are the owners. They tried doing carry out, but the very reason people come to Ollie's is why that didn't work out.
Really enjoy the interaction of being in Ollie's, seeing their friends, having that camaraderie among each other and among the staff, and really didn't feel like it was the same.
They had to close their doors, but wanted to do everything they could for their staff. So when the Paycheck Protection Program was announced, the Brandons applied on the very first day.
It actually took exactly 1 week. We applied on Friday, and by the following Friday, it was in our bank.
This money will help pay all their employees over the next 10 weeks as they figure out the unemployment check situation. David has this advice for other small businesses hoping to take part in the program.
Make sure that you have all of your paperwork prepared ahead of time. Make sure that the information that you're giving to the bank is as accurate as possible, so that when they get it, they can quickly review the documents and forward it on to the SBA, the Small Business Administration, which ultimately has to approve your loan.
Back to Bonnie. She says the whole Ollie's crew is like one big family, something which clearly starts at the top, with their owners trying to help them get through this tough time.
Yeah, it just shows good faith in people, like good people still exist.
Working for you, Cornelius Hawker, RTV6.
Downtown Ollie's has been a well-known indie establishment for decades, but reopened in 2018 under new ownership. Now it plans to reopen again once it's safe to do so. Small businesses that get loans through the Paycheck Protection Program won't have to pay the money back if they keep all their employees on the payroll for 8 weeks, and the money is used for rent, utilities, and other necessary expenses. You have to apply by June 30th to take part in the program. You can learn more about the Paycheck Protection Program, plus more resources for small businesses, how to apply for unemployment, and companies that are hiring right now at hiringhoosiers.com. Kevin.
And Amanda, I thought all of you would find this interesting. It was a week ago today that we hit nearly 80 degrees. That feels like a long time ago, a year ago. But this morning, that's our coldest temperature of the month. So there's the range, 50 degrees. We'll set a new low temperature for the month. I think tomorrow morning we'll drop to about 28 in the metro area, colder in other spots. Peru and Muncie have the honor of being in the 30s right now. It feels like the 30s everywhere, if not colder, because of the wind. That wind chill is in the lower 30s in most spots. Just a few flurries, those will fade away. Then the story one more night will be temperatures. Freeze warning with temperatures 25 to 30 degrees by tomorrow morning. What to expect Friday morning is a little different story. I'll have that for you coming up.
We'll see you soon, Kevin. Appreciate it. IMPD officer Bree Leith will be laid to rest tomorrow, 1 week after she was killed in the line of duty. Leith's funeral service will be held at IMS before her burial at Crown Hill Cemetery. Our TV6's Rafael Sanchez had a chance to talk to the officer's mother and a good friend.
Both shared stories about the woman who at 3 years old wanted to follow in her father's footsteps and found purpose wearing her badge.
Sunflowers were among Breanne Leith's favorite things. So was music. And her friendship with fellow IMPD officer Desiree Biggers. Both worked East District. Desiree shared several stories, including Officer Leith making the food run for 3 children after their mom was arrested. Leith fed the kids while they waited for hours for a relative to arrive. Both officers were familiar with sign language. I am not, so I FaceTimed a friend to help me share this part of the story. You see, Officer Leith liked talking with people. She's credited with using sign language skills to help deal with a family fight on the east side this year. Her skills made the family feel comfortable and made it easier to find a peaceful resolution. Desiree has a message for Breanne's 3-year-old son. Your mom was a light in a dark place who touched the lives of many people. She loved the city, loved serving the city, and loved working in East District. Like the sunflower, Officer Leith stood tall, stood out, and understood the beauty of being in the present.
And that was Rafael Sanchez reporting. Officer Leith's mom called her a light in this world who always knew she wanted to be a police officer. Still ahead on the news at 7, the new normal for a local distillery as they switch production to fill a demand for first responders.
Getting your car fixed may not seem like a big deal right now, but it can be crucial for essential workers these days. Coming up next on RTV6, see how one local line of auto repair shops is keeping some very important vehicles on the roadways.
6 working together, working for you.
We're Open Indy is our effort to highlight local businesses that are open during the pandemic, serving their communities and supporting essential workers. RTV6's Brad Brown shows you how one Indy auto shop is giving back.
Most of us are not doing a lot of driving these days, but for many, being on the road has to happen. The likes of medical personnel, first responders, not to mention the thousands of trucks and transports it takes to get the essential stuff that we all need from point A to point B. That's where car service centers like Best One Indy come into the mix. With 10 locations around the area, Best One continues to take care of the vehicles that are helping take care of us. Best One is offering vehicle pickup and delivery if you're not able to get away. And they have also added curbside drop-off for vehicles as well. On the commercial side, they have a steady stream of semis, vans, and trucks coming through to stay ready for action. Best One Vice President Scott McKenzie talked to us about his crew and being able to continue servicing at this crucial time.
They're happy to be here at work supporting our customers, whether it be somebody that needs to get themselves to work or whether it's people that go to work to help others through the medical industry or whatnot. But yeah, it's been a nice sense around here. This is kind of unprecedented times for everybody, but we're here to take care of anything you need. Like I said, we've been doing it for 34 years. We're going to be here for another 34 years.
Best One locations are open Monday through Saturday. For info about service pickup and delivery, call the location nearest you. You can also find that information on their website. And here's a neat promotion from Best One on their Facebook page. You can nominate a frontline superhero of the week. Think medical personnel, first responders, anyone who's out there working hard for us. A weekly winner is chosen. They'll get free oil changes from Best One for a year. They're also running special deals on tires and service for those working on the front lines. Most of the area's big car dealerships also do have their service centers open, but many are having limited hours as well, so be sure to call ahead for that information. Working for you, Brad Brown, RTV6.
And thank you, Brad. Snow is going to target the northern half of the state tomorrow night and Friday. Rain, central and southern portions. We'll talk about some accumulation and warmer temperatures finally arriving.
This is RTV6 News at 7, working for you.
Welcome back. Weeks into the coronavirus pandemic, some cleaning and sanitary supplies are still hard to come by. RTV6's Rafael Sanchez shows you how one distillery is making an important switch for now to start rolling out some in-demand supplies.
So we start with 25 gallons of our alcohol.
The recipe is not secret.
We're also going to add some glycerin.
And the process to make homemade whiskey is on hold as the Bear Wallow Distillery uses its alcohol and a cocktail of government-approved ingredients to make hand sanitizers.
It actually wasn't an easy switch. We didn't have any of the ingredients that we needed to make hand sanitizer except for the alcohol. We needed to get labels, we needed to procure bottles, we needed to get approval from the Federal Drug Administration.
Susan Spagnolo owns one of the oldest craft distilleries in the state. During a normal week, her team would make about 1,000 gallons of whiskey.
We're taking the alcohol that we would typically put in barrels to make our bourbon, and we're using that as the basis of our hand sanitizer.
Now the alcohol serves as the base for a product keeping people safe. Her hand sanitizer is 80% alcohol. It's whiskey scented and meant for your hands only.
We're donating actually a lot of it. We're donating it to, local, not only Brown County, but local communities, the fire departments, the police departments, the EMS, health organizations.
Before the crowds return, Susan is thinking ahead, preparing should this health emergency reemerge.
I did make a commitment to myself that I will always have the ingredients on hand, that if we needed to make that switch, I could make it faster this time.
And Susan tells Rafael making the switch has allowed her to save jobs. She's donated sanitizers to first responders and health providers, and she's looking forward to getting back to making whiskey. Kevin.
And Amanda, as you can tell, just step outside. We're a long way from the dog days of summer, but I want to thank Sherman Roy He lives in Brownsburg. For checking the forecast models, now let me show you what he was able to sniff out and detect here for the next 24 hours. We've got some changes on the way. Temperatures, they'll tumble into the 20s tonight, maybe as cold as the mid-20s. Tomorrow night into Friday morning, snow north of Indy, rain south of Indy. Some accumulating snow to the north, could be a few inches of heavy, wet, melting snow. 36 along 31 from Tipton to Kokomo to Peru, 39 in Muncie, 36 also in Richmond. Temperature should be in the low 60s this time of year. The wind will calm down. We had another gust over 40 miles per hour, another very windy day, made it feel colder than it actually was. But by tomorrow morning, as the sky clears and the wind calms, the temperatures, they settle to our coldest morning yet. 26 in Peru, temperature in Indy at 28. That'd be 1 degree colder than this morning. Temperatures tomorrow almost to 50 from Indy north. Should make 50 from Terre Haute to Columbus south. This is probably what you want to see. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock to 11. I don't know that you want to see snow, but you want to see how this will play out. North of Indy, snow ongoing at 11 o'clock tomorrow night. That trend continues overnight with temperatures at or above freezing. This will be melting. We've got rain as you wake up from Indy south on Friday. The computer model's kind of all over the place as far as how much snow we may see. And again, this would be melting on contact. Obviously, it would accumulate grass and the grass and mulch, whatever else I'm trying to come up with here, your deck, but less on roadways. As we go toward the weekend, then we'll snap out of it. Our temperatures later Friday afternoon, they'll be in the 40s for afternoon highs. Temperatures over the weekend start to turn the corner. 54 with sunshine. That's a great combination Saturday. That chance of rain minimal on Sunday as we get to 59. 2 days that stick out far right-hand side of your screen. 63 and partly sunny on Tuesday. 64 with a chance of rain on Wednesday. And even these overnight lows start coming back to a respectable level in the mid-40s. That's what we can look forward to. We'll be back with more of 6 News right after this.
/online care.
People around central Indiana are working together in different ways to help lift up the community. Lisa Daniel is part of Hazelwood Christian Church's homeless outreach ministry in Clayton. She and other church members would normally cook meals for people experiencing homelessness in Indianapolis. But with the COVID-19 pandemic, she must get creative. Fortunately, donations allowed the ministry to buy 80 pizzas from Pasquale's Pizza and Pasta on the southwest side. The group's generosity inspired the restaurant to donate 3 large cases of bottled water to help with her homeless outreach.
We donate to a lot of the schools. We donated to the hospital. We took them some pizzas.
Thank you for all you're doing.
Oh, no, thank you. We would hope that everybody would do stuff like that. There's a lot of people out that are helping to help, and we just enjoy seeing people that actually do things for others.
People need to know that God loves them. And if we show up every week and we provide just a little meal, they're going to know that God sent it. It's not about us, it's about God, and He sent this to them.
Lisa and her group distributed the pizzas and waters to various homeless camps in the Indianapolis area.
RTV6 is working together with the United Way of Central Indiana. We're teaming up for the COVID-19 Community Economic Relief Fund. The initiative supports organizations that serve people and families affected by the pandemic. You can donate to the fund by texting HELP 2020 to 91999. Kevin.
Amanda, when it snows in April, what do? You run and you get your camera and you record it. Here it is, slow motion snow. Tomorrow night into Friday morning, more snow comes our way, especially north of Indy. Amanda?
Thanks for making RTV6 your choice for news. Join us again for the news at 11.